We're back on Get Up. Texas is our next stop. Rumors swirling about Steve Sarkisan. Monday, our Desmond Howard posted a video saying he wouldn't be surprised if the Texas job opens at the end of the season. Last month, Sark's agents disputed an athletic report that his reps have let NFL teams know he would be interested in returning. And then finally yesterday, the coach himself pushed back hard.
I'd like to comment on something before I get into our team, something that has been bothering me now over the past few weeks, and that is people reporting or insinuating there's a possibility I could leave the University of Texas, and that is absolutely false and untrue. I'm not going anywhere. I've had no discussions, not with my agent, not with the university, not with any other school, not with any NFL team, about ever going anywhere else. So can we please stop putting things out there that you have absolutely zero evidence on? And then can we please stop retweeting, putting it back out there as if it's true, as if it's the gospel? So moving forward, when some Joe Blow decides to put something on social media out there, we all don't run with it like it's the gospel. Can we all agree on that on this call?
So that is powerfully said. We asked these guys, be definitive. That's as definitive as you can be. So Danny and Will and Josh Pate joins us as he does every week and sometimes more than that. Josh, welcome as always. What's your reaction to Steve Sarkisan there?
He was probably even less forceful than I would be. The problem here, it's not even like Sark. It's not Lane. It's not any of the head coaches who are halfway decent, therefore will always be coveted. It's to put it in NFL terms, Greeny, I want you to imagine that the NFL draft happens early rounds of the playoffs and how insane that would be. And then I want you to imagine free agency happens, I don't know, like the week of the Super Bowl or right before it. Everyone would lose their minds, but what would really happen is the hiring cycle would get thrown into a blender, and rumors of the hiring cycle would get thrown into a blender. I mention that because that's college football right now, because the powers that be in college football have absolutely no idea what they're doing, so they've ruined the calendar. So National Signing Day in our sport right now is the week of conference championship games. The free agency period, the portal period, is during the playoffs. And so anyone out there who's trying to fill a head coaching vacancy is looking and saying, we don't really want to do this, but what else are we going to do? We can't wait until mid-January to have a head coach. We've missed both of our talent acquisition windows, but they're not the ones who catch the heat. The ones who catch the heat are coaches who have to answer this stuff during game week. It's athletic directors who have to explain why they're trying to poach another coach, why they fired their guy in October. So the people responsible are kind of nameless and faceless. They're just kind of administrative, bureaucratic types. The problem's the calendar. The problem is not coaching rumors right now.
That's really, really well said and about as well explained as it could possibly be. And it makes me feel a little awkward asking my next question, which is, is Lane Kiffin going to leave Ole Miss?
Where's Lane Kiffin going, Josh? Where's he going?
If so, where do you expect him to wind up?
Okay, great question, Greeny. Phenomenal question. Forget the games. I think if I had to place my money right now, he'll be somewhere other than Oxford, Mississippi, coaching next year. What I do believe is there's been a lot of window speculation. By that, I mean, if you're a Florida booster, you have information that he may have visited Gainesville. What you may not have known is, his family rather, not him. His family's gonna be in Baton Rouge the next day, doing their due diligence, shopping around. The problem is that leads to really widespread speculation that a deal is done. I don't think a deal has been done, at least not as of the time I woke up this morning. I think he's really back and forth on it. I do think, and I may have given you a different answer last week, that more than likely he'll be out of there. But where it really gets interesting is this time next week, we're getting ready for the Egg Bowl. We're getting ready for Mississippi State Ole Miss. And the question that remains is, are the folks in positions of power at Ole Miss going to want an answer from him? Let me check that. Are they going to demand an answer from him before that game because of all the stuff we just talked about with the calendar?
Absolutely. And you see on your screen there, we saw Lane on with McAfee the other day saying there has been no ultimatum, but that doesn't mean there won't be one as they move forward. Dan, you have advice for Lane Kiffin?
Be careful leaving. He's got a good thing going at Ole Miss right now. And it's a different era in college football. I'm not going to tell Coach Kiffin what to do. I will say this. I think he's better and longer for college than he is in the NFL. I know his name has been attached to the NFL. He's remarkably likable. I don't know if you watched the whole time with him and McAfee.
Yeah, he's great.
He just comes off remarkably likable. I think he's great for college football. And I understand that Florida is Florida and LSU is LSU. They got a good thing going. He's got a pathway to the playoff almost annually right now. I think I like him at Ole Miss.
Quick take, Will.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think one of the hardest things to do for successful people is to get the goalposts to stop moving. Lane Kiffin has an incredible spot he's at right now. That place loves him. Be cautious, but if it is going somewhere else, those are for deeper NIL pockets. I'd love to see Lanesville, Florida.
Rankings were ridiculous. Okay, so Alabama falls like crazy after losing to Oklahoma. They fall behind Notre Dame. Alabama has one of the strongest resumes with 4 wins against currently ranked teams. They did have the one bad loss at the very beginning against Florida State. Pate, what was your reaction to the committee putting Notre Dame ahead of Bama?
Pretty surprised if we're just going on protocol. Anyone can find a group of stats to throw in your face out there. Like I got a group of my Notre Dame buddies right now who I respect, who are making an argument for this, who I know would be on the other side if the logos were flipped. So really, if we're just sticking to principle here, it didn't make much sense to me that Alabama dropped that far. It would really make me scared to be an Oregon fan, because if Bama dropped that far losing to Oklahoma, how far are we going to drop if we lose to USC this weekend? Part 2 of that, and this is the more conspiratorial side of me, Greeny, you rarely see this come out, even in private. Could it be, I'm just floating it out there, could it be that Notre Dame was placed where they were to keep them as far away from Miami as possible so that they didn't have to do that head-to-head comparison, that comparative pool comparison that makes no sense to 99% of the country, but is somehow baked into the committee protocol?
Well, you tweeted the other day, the commentary from the committee chair tonight was some of the most flawed I've ever seen. What did you mean? I have a minute left here. What is your issue with the way they handled everything?
It was terrible. So keep in mind, 99% of people watching this do not take a deep dive into your criteria and your metrics and all of your procedures. They're listening to, at this point, Hunter Yurchek, the playoff committee commissioner who comes on with Reese and gives a 5-minute explainer. And to hear him talking about Notre Dame, Miami, and to hear him talk about how they haven't been compared yet, and to hear him talk about them taking the losses as a basis of comparison between those wins, when I kid you not, one of Notre Dame's losses is Miami, was totally absurd. We have short time. That's one of 15 things I could list for you.
All right, that we need to set aside some more time for this. Pate is so good.
Great work, Josh.
Thank you very much. We'll have more from him as we go. Our Saturday SEC on ABC college football triple header has Oklahoma, Missouri. Then you got Arch Manning taking on Arkansas. Then you got Tennessee and Florida. All the games, as always, available on the all-new ESPN app.
You want this, you got that. No